January 5th, 2021. Greetings from Rwanda's capital, Kigali. Here is what makes our top stories tonight. The 2019-2020 Rwanda Demographic and Health Survey found that sanitation in households has increased by 1% over the period of 5 years, up from 71% in 2014-2015. Young people in Musanze district, a large number of whom are students preparing to return back to school, are participating in the COVID-19 vaccination program in the area. Residents in Huye district are complaining that despite gas prices being set at 1,260 Rwandan francs per kilo, the commodity has continued to be so expensive. A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa. To kick off onto the local scene, the 2019-2020 Rwanda Demographic and Health Survey found that sanitation in households had increased by 1% over the period of 5 years, up from 71% in 2014-2015. Betty Motoni kickstarts tonight's bulletin with this report.
More people come to understand the importance of hygiene as years move, which is indicated by having kitchen, clean latrines and flooring using sand. And this helped them fight diseases caused by poor hygiene.
Sometimes we use firewood, charcoal or gas, depending on the time we have.
We made a step ahead. Previously, we had no cement on the floor. We used to do flooring with sand, but now we're no longer bothered because we have cemented our floor.
We no longer get sick of malaria because stagnant water and bushes have been cleared.
The 2019-2020 Rwanda Demographic and Health Survey found that sanitation in household had increased over a period of 5 years, up from 71% in 2014-2015. 72% of households have improved latrine, 25% households have an improved latrines, and 3% households have no latrines at all. Governor of Southern Province, Alice Kaite, says that in most households in that province have improved latrines, and few without them are making all possible ways to help them improve. We started by checking on households without latrines, but now no single house without latrine. We are now checking on households with unimproved ones, unroofed and uncovered, and this all was included in district and local council's commitment. This survey shows that 22% of households cooking inside in their house and 95% use solid fuel for cooking, and 11 households smoke inside the house. Governor of Northern Province, Dansila Nyirarugendo, says that most households are dropping the perception of sleeping with animals and cooking inside the house. In Northern Province, some households who have perception of sleeping with domestic animals inside their house, not because they don't have crowd, but have a habit of bringing them inside the house at night. We are doing sensitization and people are responding. Of the total 72% of households with latrines, 88% of them in urban have improved latrines, while 69% households have both improved and improved latrines. 65% of households do flooring using sand or earth, while 31% use cement. Betty Mutoni reporting for RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Betty, for the report. Moving ahead, young people in Musanze district, a large number of whom are students preparing to return back to school, are participating in the COVID-19 vaccination program. The district administration says there is also a plan to vaccinate students by the time they arrive at their places of study.
At various COVID-19 vaccination sites, young people, including students, dominated other age groups. This comes as students are preparing to go back to school. They say they understand the importance of getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Getting vaccinated against the virus will help us as students because the pandemic affected us and we spent a lot of time not studying. Now that we are getting vaccinated, it will help us with our studies.
It is very good. We thank the government for helping us get vaccinated from our areas so that we can resume school when we're all vaccinated.
Getting vaccinated means a lot because it will give us access to different services as well as improving our health. At the same time, parents who came for the booster shot say they encourage their children, some of whom are students, to take the booster shot for those who are eligible too, requesting authorities to speed up vaccination for children below 18 years of age.
We are encouraging them to get vaccinated because the pandemic affects both the young and the old. Be it those above 18 years of age or below, they have to get vaccinated. We are encouraging them to get vaccinated before they return to school. We as parents are worried if the younger children will get vaccinated from schools or not.
Different schools are also preparing to commence the second term of this academic year. However, school teachers are demanding for clarification of whether those under the age of 18 will be vaccinated.
As the school administration, we wish that all students can be vaccinated by the time they return to school. That's what we request from the authorities in charge.
The Musanze District Administration is urging students to participate in the COVID-19 vaccination program, adding that there's a plan to carry on with the vaccination program when students arrive at their schools, according to Musanze Deputy Mayor for Social Welfare, Axel Kamanzi. In Musanze District, we haven't started vaccinating young people below the age of 18, but we continue encouraging those above 18 years to get vaccinated from different sites that have been set up. For those below 18 years, our district will begin vaccinating them in the second phase. RBC assured us that vaccines will be availed as soon as they return to schools. Across Musanze District, a joint COVID-19 vaccination campaign has been ongoing to continue encouraging the public to take part in COVID-19 testing and vaccination in order to curb the spread of the virus based on the increasing number of infections.
Thank you, Gloria Mutesi, for the report. Moving ahead, making reforms in the Nyabarongo water transport was the main resolution taken at a joint meeting between the southern and the northern provinces held in Kamonyi district. This was done to deal with chaos in this regard and prevent accidents that claim people's lives. Innocent Mugabo reports.
Reports from the public, as well as the executive secretaries of the Nyabarongo sectors, show that crossing this river is an inevitable thing for the people of both Muhanga and Gachenye. They base this on the productive opportunities of the people on both sides. We have families here, and apart from that, we need to trade. Other people travel for job opportunities in Gachenye. Different people intermarried, and some have fields, both Muhanga and Gachenye. Here, bridges are used in terms of public transportation, though not enough since many end up being destroyed by disasters. The other method is the use of traditional fishing boats. Concerns about safety and health are on the rise due to climate change, which has led to a rise in the river's water levels. Using the traditional fishing boats requires physical energy, so the risk is high for an accident. Some residents claim to be good swimmers, but we advise them to stop it for their life's sake. In the three sectors of Muhanga district, Chiyumba, Ronji and Nyabinoni, there are 13 docks connecting Muhanga and Gachenye. At a joint meeting of the southern and northern provinces, it was resolved that since the bridges on the river are insufficient, the means of transport should be improved. Only insured engine boats and equipped with life jackets were permitted for transportation operations. Southern Province Governor Kaitesi Alice notes that the private sector and the community are responsible for the implementation of the resolution.
The most important part is to bring in stakeholders and transportation companies, of whom some know about these regulations. So we are to talk to them this week, and those that will fully meet the requirements will be allowed to operate, and those that don't will be helped to see that they also meet them.
Another effort to be made is to raise awareness among those residing by the rivers in terms of taking good care of the water infrastructure.
And moving ahead, men in Rwanda say they now understand the health benefits of circumcision, as opposed to before, when many thought the practice had more to do with one's religious beliefs. Serge Node with more.
The 2019-2020 Rwanda Demographic and Health Survey found that 56% of all males between the ages of 15 and 49 were circumcised, 73% of them between the ages of 15 and 24, while those between the ages of 30 and 40 accounted for 30%. Circumcision provides better protection against sexually transmitted diseases, which is why I urge all men to get circumcised because of the benefits. Back in 2005, only 9.6% of men in Rwanda were circumcised, then 13.3% in 2010, 27.8% in 2014, and then more than doubling again 5 years later. Getting circumcised does not mean that you necessarily belong to a certain religion, and instead provides you with greater protection against diseases for those that are sexually active. A lot was done for such figures to be achieved. Sensitization efforts on the benefits of willingly getting circumcised, resulting in people understanding those benefits and responding positively to the campaign. I therefore encourage the government to continue with those efforts so that we can reach even more people with the information, and to increase the number of doctors that provide such services so that people do not have to wait for mass campaigns to get it done. Medical research has confirmed that circumcision reduces the risk of catching STDs by as much as 60%.
Residents in Huye district are complaining that despite gas prices being set at 1,260 Rwandan francs per kilo, the commodity has continued to be so expensive. Some people have decided to go back to using charcoal, driving prices for that, as well as because of their high demand.
The problem seems to be most serious in areas surrounding Huye town, and people there say getting gas for cooking is almost impossible. We don't know if the problem is the retailers who refuse to bring the cylinders here or something else. What we do know is that there is no gas in Tumba or Rango. There is no gas at all. The local residents in that area say that because they cannot get gas, charcoal is now in such demand, prices for it have skyrocketed. We asked retailers why they are not bringing in gas. We retailers see no reason to buy gas wholesale from Huye town when we know we cannot include the transportation cost in the final price we sell it. Rura did not consider that when it set the price, and hiking the price up would result in my shop being closed. In Huye town, big suppliers like SP petrol stations have no problem selling their gas cylinders at the price set by the Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority, which is 1,260 Rwandan francs per kilo, and they say there are no gas shortages there for the people that want it. Members of the private sector in Huye district say Rura should revise its prices to consider the cost of transporting the gas from Kigali to the provinces, otherwise the controversy will continue. When Rura set the current price in December, the average cost of a kilo of gas had climbed to as much as 1,500 Rwandan francs.
Local residents across the country have been calling for efforts in dealing with the problem of people sexually assault children, because some of them even managed to successfully flee from authorities after committing such crimes.
We spoke to a 17-year-old girl who was raped by her father at the age of 15 and got pregnant.
I wanted to be an important person, become a businesswoman. I was in my third year of secondary school, but that is now not possible. My dreams are dead, and I no longer have confidence among my age mates.
Figures from the Rwanda Investigation Bureau indicate that 13,485 people have been arrested since 2018 after committing the crime of sexually assaulting minors, 1,897 more than in the 3 years preceding that one. The number of girls that were sexually assaulted is 13,646. Worryingly, the number of girls assaulted by their own parents and other relatives have been on the rise, with 1,160 becoming pregnant in this way between 2018 and June last year. Sadly, in such cases, the girls are usually subjected to harassment from other family members, such as their mothers, with reports of them sometimes even kicked out of the house after offenders flee, while DNA results are pending to determine whether or not they really fathered their children. People in different areas of the country have confirmed that families with such problems are usually plagued with domestic violence as well, and that without doubt, it contributes to such abuse. Officials in the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion say they have been working with the concerned institutions in the justice sector to increase efforts to deal with the problem, and also sensitize local communities against such crimes while publicly shaming those convicted of harming children in that way. We also asked the spokesperson of the National Public Prosecution Authority about the problem of perpetrators running away before they are sentenced for their crimes, and he pointed out that this does not stop their victims from getting justice and the compensation they deserve, because the property of the perpetrators is auctioned off so that compensation can be given to victims.
And on behalf of the entire news and technical team that made it happen, thank you very much for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa, wishing you a safe evening. Bye.